Interesting thing about being blind is that a lot of people don't really understand what it means to be blind, what you can and can't do, what you can and can't see.
So is that why the screen looks all dim and blurry and pixelated?
Oh, it is? Well, John did invite us in to take a look at the film and see how it looks and see how it's going. And I think this is John's attempt to show everyone what my vision is like. But I can't really attest to its accuracy because I can't see the screen. So maybe we should describe ourselves. I'm an older white male with dirty blonde hair and a receding hairline and a crooked nose.
Chris, I have never noticed that about your nose. Well, I'm a blonde middle-aged woman and words appeared on the screen. The Institute for Human Development presents A Blind Man Walks into a Classroom.
Oh, I like that title. Disability is a word that gets a bad rap. From all sorts of people, it can feel like a trap or make you think that you're less than, stigmatized, marginalized, or even delegitimized.
Hello, my name is Joshua Moncrief, and I'm a student in the ESE 330 class. There are about 25 students in this class.
Here you are in your office. That's a nice blue button-down shirt you have on.
Thank you. So my particular disability is technically called pigmentary retinal dystrophy, more commonly known as retinitis pigmentosa or RP. I was first identified with vision loss when I was about 2 by my grandmother when she noticed that I wasn't able to find things on the floor that were dropped.
I see you have the Universal Design Handbook on your shelf. That's a huge book.
It was a lot to listen to. Not having a particularly visible disability, I had a lot of questions from my peers. What are you doing with those books? Well, I can't see very well, so I have to use these. Well, why don't you just get glasses then? Well, glasses don't really help what I have. And that was a mystery for a lot of my peers.
There's a lot of nice shots of your office, but we don't have time to describe everything.
And if we did, it would be a very boring feature-length film. Hey, it's cool if some of these words are new to you because all you need to know is the simple truth that disability is a natural part of our lives, not a reason for shame, but a source of pride. Yes, one's disability represents power.
There are shots of you walking using your cane.
You are the women and men of the hour, so let down your hair from that proverbial tower and escape the oppression of social exclusion.
You're coming up to some really steep stairs.
Disability empowerment won't be an illusion when you lead the charge toward attitudinal inclusion.
Nice transition. You walked down the stairs and now you're outside leading a group of people across campus.
I came to Northern Arizona University. At that time, moving from Phoenix to Flagstaff, I did make a significant change, and that was actually using a long cane. And so I made a fresh start.
One of the most notable observations Judy made was her statement, "I'm not inspirational, I'm an activist." This quote resonated deeply with me because it challenges the common narrative that people with disabilities are simply sources of inspiration for others.
On the wall in your office, we see your awards, the one that we nominated you for with a head, NAU and the city of Flagstaff. Oh, there's my favorite of your paper cutting art.
When I cut that, I put in pine trees, and if you look closely, you can see reindeer in the corner, and I got it in a nice rustic wooden frame.
Maybe you and John should have straightened that out before you shot it.
You mean it's crooked? Going from a place of passing or trying to pass as cited to a place of embracing my disability was cathartic. Inclusive environment. Neva, how about you? My training has been grounded in the medical model of disability. And that's how I taught it. I taught it about characteristics. I taught it about identification. And I taught it strictly through a deficit lens. Now, you might be thinking, man, that's just...
He just made the sign for bullshit.
Life ain't that easy with an impairment. Oh, I get it. I know. I was once where you are. I couldn't get a date because I couldn't drive a car. Although we did drive.
You did drive.
To
Yeah.
Tim's consternation.
Yeah, hard left, quick.
I'm sitting here with my brother Tim, and he's got dark pulled back hair, a full beard, and is wearing a sweater. And we're playing chess on an accessible chessboard. There's your bishop. here.
Oh, that's interesting. It's not what I would have done.
Of course it isn't.
Because you haven't really, threatened anyone.
Really? I've been yelled at and taunted, but even more often embarrassed and harassed and, well, even beat on. So trust me, I know that this journey's not easy. I'm 62, so it's had a long time to deteriorate.
Oh my, Chris, is that you standing behind a powered miter saw? It makes me a little bit nervous.
Oh, it made my wife nervous too.
6 and 9/16 inches, including case. 12 and 9/16.
I like the talking tape measure. I love that you do these kinds of projects, Chris.
Measure twice, cut once. At this point, I only have about 1% of my vision left. Just a couple of years ago, I had about 2%. But if you think about, losing 1% out of 2%, that's like half of what you have left. But I've been very lucky to have time to adjust to my disability.
Chris, this is our accessibility expedition. This really is one of my favorite projects. It's so important that we have people with and without disabilities participating.
That is important.
Part of why we do the accessibility expedition is to give folks an idea of how we have built our environment to either exclude folks or include folks.
I didn't know I was going to be in the film.
We actually have an elevator now in the bookstore as the result of this particular experience. And so there is power in the voices that come out of this expedition.
There you are standing at the top of the death ramp outside of IHD.
I hate that ramp.
Chris, you're walking down toward IHD to press the blue button.
Oh, wait, no, that's the Purell.
Oh, well, at least the floor is sanitized. But without my disability, I just wouldn't be me. See, this thing that I'm calling disempowerment's about hope and potential. It's like an endowment. So with the vending machines, I play a game, and I call it vending machine roulette. Let's see, I'll try again. We'll try this.
One of those first. Oh, what do we get?
I don't know. Doritos nacho cheese. Well, at least it's not a dill pickle like I got once. My vision's not about what I can or can't see. It's about exploring the power of possibility.
I really love the way that you walk around and visit with your students before class.
I think it really helps build relationship for me and my students.
As a fellow disabled person, it really makes me happy to see another disabled person just living life and doing what they can and being great at what they do.
Oh, that was a nice thing for my student Locke to say.
Your students really look up to you.
Please allow me to leave you with this one final plea. Discover the women and men you might be when you understand and embrace this word, disability. Claim your identity. Establish your legacy. Be models of true disability advocacy. Because when you finally deny the stigma, pity, and lies, you'll come to realize just what this empowers our lives. And yet, I still have to.
Checkmate.
Right. I'm still checkmated. And I'm kind of checkmated in other ways too. As great as the technology is, it's not a panacea by any means. Lots of technology is not accessible. And so...
like smart light bulbs.
Like smart light bulbs.
Whoa, the screen cut to black.
Well, that was an abrupt ending.
Well, it's not black, but we're back to dim, blurry, and pixelated.
Oh, I see. John's ending the film the same way it began, with my vision for an inclusive and equitable world.
Here comes the end credits. The blind professor is Chris Lanterman. I am his colleague and friend, Lauren Copeland Glenn. John Schaefer made this film. Tim Lanterman appeared as himself. The students who spoke are
Joshua Moncrief, Shanice Kalili, and Lachlan Millen.
Additional camera by Matt Nelson. Crew was Jeremy Antonica, Julia Antonica, Mark Dawson, Madeline Yingling. Thank you to NAU's ESE 330 class, CDAD for hosting the accessibility expedition and the people who participated in it, Kelly Robert, Sakina McDonald, Miles McDonald, Amber King,
And my beautiful wife, Mary Bennett.